Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's conversation. So excited to have you all join me. As you know, every 2 weeks, we have a conversation together as a group. And today is Magic Wednesday. So that means we are going to hang out today online for the next 45 minutes and share stories, talk about what's happening in the industry, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about this week. So feel free to pop into the comments in the chat. Let me know where you're joining us from. Hopefully, I have some of the regulars on Candid Conversations and also some new folks. It's a beautiful Wednesday here. I'm hoping that you're not too messed up for those of you that do the time change. We don't do the time change where I live. So I just kind of wave and rock with what's happening out there in your world. Oh, there's my friend Julie from Cornell. It's so good to see you, Julie. I got an email this morning that started, "Hi, Peggy. Hi, Macy. Oh, it's pouring rain. Oh, maybe it's one of those good rainy day productivity days then." I got an email this morning from Cornell saying that I was perfect because I had given every year during their giving day, and I will plan on giving this year because I love their giving day and really enjoy it. And there's my friend Gail in Los Angeles with UCLA. Um, let's see, there's so much going on in nonprofit land. There's my friend Mariah at Case Western. So I've got lots of good folks here saying hello. Let's see, Nicole from Alaska. So that is a great transition. And Tanya from Fitchburg State. Nicole, it leads me to our first kind of big news is that Alaska today sued, the state of Alaska sued GoFundMe and 6 other crowdfunding and other nonprofit websites. I'm really proud of Alaska for doing that. And they joined 23 other states that sued GoFundMe. The other states did not. Hey, Megan. The other states didn't sue the other companies, but 23 states sued GoFundMe today, this week. Yay, which means all of your reports to the Attorney General in your state took hold, and the attorneys general of 23 states and now Alaska sued Charity Navigator. They sued and some others, but GoFundMe is the biggest problem in our industry. Hey, Beth. And so we have that lawsuit, and then we also have the I'm trying to find the document. And so, it's really big news in our industry because those are states that, you know, where, GoFundMe took horrible action against us. And, it is really an awful thing that GoFundMe did, which is basically created pages without your consent. And so, yeah, I have a copy of the letter here. I'm going to drop that in the chat. Oh, we have an update from Maureen at Ohio Wesleyan. The Name a Squirrel winner was Bill Nurl, the science squirrel. We love that. Thank you, Maureen, for keeping us up to date. So while we're, chatting about that. So I love that name. Thank you, Maureen. So a lot going on in the industry, in addition to, multiple donors being found in the Epstein files, donors with naming opportunities at lots of places. Just a lot, kind of happening in our world right now. We have a lot. We have a lot going on. Let's see. We are preparing at DRG for our Chicago conference. that happens in the third week of March, right after. So we let Chicago have its St. Patrick's Day, and then we usually come into town afterward. And we are going to do our conference in Chicago. If you can join us, I'm sure the team here will drop a link to that. And then after that, we will see you in June in Nashville, where we are partnering with Charity Water. First partnership ever. So excited about partnering with Charity Water. Really thrilled about the donor experience. And I have been planning some surprises for Nashville for all the attendees. Let's just say we're taking donor experience to the attendee experience. So we have a lot of exciting things happening there. We just launched our AI and donor relations series. And so myself and Jenny Jones, or as we call her, Dr. Jones, because she has a PhD, are going to be talking and walking you all through AI and donor relations, specifically, defining AI, working on with AI, talking about guardrails, AI policies. And then we're going to do a live AI lab where you actually get to use whatever tool your organization uses. And we're going to walk through that. In the background, I've been a little busy in that I recently taught myself to code. So I've been coding and vibe coding, and mark your calendars for April 15th. That is going to be not just tax day, but we're going to have a special happy hour that day and announce a huge new exciting developments to help you all, to help you learn. Just so excited. I've been working on it. I now have a partner who is helping me with some of the tech side, because your girl learned quickly how to code. And then I went on like a 4-day coding bender, where like you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't bathe kind of thing. You read a lot of Reddit and so I built out some things. I'm really excited about that. So lots happening this spring. But would love to hear from you all. What's going on in your world? What kind of updates do you have? What do you want to chat about? Yesterday was Mom's 88th birthday. So Norma has made it to 88, and she recently heard from her oncologist that April will be her last immunotherapy treatment for the foreseeable future, because she went from having stage 4 hepatocellular carcinoma or liver cancer to now she doesn't have any signs of tumors in her body at all. So we're going to go on 3 and 6 month monitoring, but my mom kicked cancer's ass, and that's kind of crazy. I recently lost a friend here on island who was only 34, who had a different kind of cancer. And so it's just been a kind of whirlwind. Yeah, she has kicked cancer's ass. It's kind of amazing. So she's going to live forever. So we're going to celebrate her when I head to their house next Thursday. And then on the horizon, my dad on the 26th of March turns 90. And you'll see on our social media and our newsletter that we are trying to gather 90 birthday greetings for Dad, whether they're by email or direct mail. If you have a birthday card you send to donors, maybe you could send him a copy. The details are always in our newsletter and our social media posts, but we've already gotten some great emails and things. So I'm just trying to do something special for Dad, as he's been the caretaker for Mom, and you only turn 90 once, right? So he also is kicking ass and taking names. He still works out every day. He's going to be getting, oh, Peggy, thank you. He'll be so happy. He's really leaning into this birthday as a big milestone. So he can't wait to pick what kind of cake he's going to get from Publix. So, because apparently you get a free cake on your birthday if you give them your phone number. So he said he will give them all the phone numbers they want. So he's very excited about that. And I'll be there from the 19th through the 22nd. And then we'll be in Chicago for his actual birthday, but we're going to do a special live drop in. Oh, that's awesome. He's going to be so excited. So anything you want to do is great. Email, video, mailed, whatever you want to do. He takes his little yellow golf cart and goes and gets the mail. So give him something to go get the mail about. So would love to hear what's going on in your world. So lots happening in my world. Not a lot of sleep lately. I know that many of you had really horrible weather last night. And so I want to acknowledge that some of you may be driving the struggle bus today or a passenger on the no sleep bus. I know there were some awful tornadoes and hail. I had a friend who was in the Dallas airport and he was like, he felt like it was the end of days. We've been lucky here on island to have some really nice weather lately. I think winter is officially over for us, and now we get on the countdown to hurricane season in June. But for now, it's beautiful, and we're really excited. And maybe later I'll show what it looks like outside. Yesterday, I had a massive iguana visit me, and I posted about it on Instagram. His little nail claw things, like he literally was knocking on my slider window, and I was like, oh, this is fun. But I did not want him to come in my home. Iguanas here are like the national animal, but they do cullings every now and again. Blue iguanas are the national animal. I don't mind the geckos, but the iguanas are, they're 3 feet long with their tails, and yeah, let me see if I can find my photo of him from yesterday. And yeah, he came and hung out. Like he was like, what up, girl? See his fingernails or his toenails or whatever nails those are called. Yeah, so he came and hung out on my patio. This is the picture I posted on Instagram, but this was him. He was just like, girl, he wanted to see what I had for lunch. He was, yeah. And then he came down to where I was sitting, and yeah, he does need a Manny, Julie. So do I. So I need to do some self-care, but I've been coding. But yeah, he needs a lot of things. But his tail is like 4 or 5 times the length of his body. It's huge. So yeah. So of course, what do? I take, video and photo of it. So well, Sammy, you need to come back and live on an island, girl. I'm just saying. It's pretty awesome. He is. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He had a friend last week. They were hanging out in a pair. And then this week he came back solo. But yeah, last week I had 2 of the big ones come and visit, and I was like, can you go jump in the ocean? But they don't jump in the ocean the way I want them to. Oh, you lived on Padre Island. Oh, fun. That is so fun. Well, one of my great anxieties a little bit is that if the United States decides to invade Cuba, and there have already been movements in the Caribbean, let me tell you, we know, because we're 200 miles away from Cuba. If the United States invades Cuba, I'll be looking for a new home. So, because that and Jamaica are our next door neighbor. And so I don't really want to live in a war zone. It just is what it is, right? So just a reality. And so got to think deeply about everything and what's going on. So would love to hear about what's going on in your fundraising world. Are you hiring? Do you have new staff? I know it's Giving Day season for a lot of us. So a lot of us are running Giving Days. Julie, I know Cornell has their Giving Day. Does UCLA have a Giving Day? Gail, and when is it? Can't wait to hear about that. Let's see what else. Other than that, in the fundraising world, I feel like everybody's starting to prepare for fiscal year end. I mean, it's March. It's March. And I can't believe it's March sometimes. And then I'm like, oh, I'm excited it's March. And then, shared feeling. So Giving Day for the University of Alaska system is in 2 weeks. Lovely. Last year I supported rural students in Alaska, I think was where I supported. They did a really good job of stewardship. So they might get my gift this year. You never know. Um, you know, it's really interesting. Also, the company Blackbaud that owns Razor's Edge, if you have Razor's Edge NXT, they are now requiring CVV, or the verification code on the back of the credit card, on credit card gifts, including recurring gifts. So a lot of stuff is happening. And that hasn't been communicated well, and they've had blips with it. So something that might be impacting your gift processing staff and things like that. Okay, Macy, one of our alumni will be celebrating his 70th reunion from our engineering school. Oh, he's unable to attend the reunion in St. Louis. Well, that makes sense. If it's his 70th reunion, you add 20 to that, and you're starting to get up there in years, right? Can you share any ideas you've seen to celebrate a donor like this, or anything bespoke? Macy, the best idea I ever saw, my friend Susan Rankin Wright did this at McMaster in Canada, and they shipped their donor for the 70 days leading up to his birthday. They sent 70 puzzle pieces, and each one had a beautiful message on the back. And they had him assemble the puzzle on his birthday. So it was a really pretty, beautiful picture of the donor. And then they assemble. So every day, 70 days leading up to it, you could do that. I will tell you, Macy, what I love and what I wanted some people to do for my dad is, I am sure that there is the number 70 somewhere, and probably in multiple places on your campus. So I would partner with my facilities people, my physical plant people, and see if I couldn't go out and take some architectural photos of the number 70, and like do a postcard or do like a beautiful matted piece of where 70 is found in different buildings across campus. So you could do a classroom like 704, you could do a building number. And where I got the inspiration for that was they make these prints. I'm trying to find them for universities, and they take architectural buildings and stuff that look like letters. University, letter, poster. I'm trying to find them online now, but it's other areas all over the university that spell out the mascot or the university's name. And it's a really cool idea. I have one. I have Carolina and I have Gamecocks. And it's just a really, find the number 70 in different places, and kind of like an alphabet. Oh, that's what I want to call it. A university alphabet poster. Yeah, it's a really cool idea. It's not exactly a poster though. Campus. It's like different images across campus. And it's really cool. I have to find it for you. Email me and I will try to Google it down for you while but the 70 number idea, like the other thing you could do, again, it depends on the donor, but like Auburn University, when their donors have an 80th birthday or a significant birthday, they fly the American flag over their famous Sanford Hall, and they take the flag, frame it, and send it to you, the flag that they flew on your birthday over their campus. So giving you an example. No, that's not the example that was posted. That's not what I'm looking for. That example is not what I'm looking for, that Amazon example. Anyway, it's out there. I can help you find it. So let me ponder for university, framed art architectural letters. Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay, I finally found it. Okay, I found it. I Googled the right thing is what I'm thinking. So the idea is, yeah, there it is. Found it. There is an example of it. It's not a university example. It's a last name, but you could find the number 70. So yeah, it's really cool. So love that for you. And hopefully you can do the words, the number 70. I think number 70 is super easy. And you could probably find it in so many different ways, in different patterns, in different areas. So try that. Okay, Sammy says, I want to talk about donor surveys if I have experience. Boy, do I have experience with them. Would love to know what you want to talk about in particular. Like what in particular about surveys you want to get in specific. If you haven't yet done a survey with your donors, well, it's a good time to do that. And but I like to do, I found it. Found it. I found it. Charming, they're called Charming Letter Art Frame Print, and they have so many different universities. They have it all. So yes, I finally found it. It took me a moment, but yeah, they use architectural, popping some in there. So surveys, so donor surveys. Ideally, you want to do a comprehensive donor survey every 2 years or so. If you haven't yet done a comprehensive survey, great. I like micro surveys better. I also like surveys that focus on a specific example. So every time you send an endowment report, go ahead and survey your donors. Every time after an event, I'm surveying my donors. Also, I do 3-question surveys for new donors, and I also do surveys for lapsed donors. So if a donor hasn't given in 18 months, which for me is I consider a lapsed donor, we usually send them a survey asking them 5 to 10 questions about, did they know they haven't given? Because again, who trains donors to know they're supposed to give every year, right? Nobody grows up knowing that every charity is counting on you to give every single year. So I just want to also reinforce that idea, right? Sammy, I'm not understanding your post. It says the would like to be engaged with. You're going to have to unpack that one a little bit more for me so that I can get clarity on your question, but happy to answer it. Surveys are great. We don't survey enough. We don't engage enough. We don't do enough focus groups. So again, giving you options there. So while Sammy keeps up, it says they would like to be engaged with. I don't know what they, I want to talk about donor surveys if you've experienced though. And then your next post said they would like to be engaged with. So I need more detail, please, dear. No rush. I'm going to answer Beth's question. She says, where team wants to do a traditional scholarship reception in September. And you want to change it to be more meaningful for both students and donors. Excellent. Any ideas to change things up? So yeah, there's lots of ideas um, to change things up. The first is to not have them, right? Because we shouldn't be making students do performative efforts to receive scholarships, to think about their efforts, and a seated luncheon, a seated reception is not what we want. So Beth, I'm gonna show you Colorado State's site that they have for scholarship recipients and donors that sets the boundaries, and it talks about, you know, that the recipients are not expected to have a relationship with the donor. They don't have to participate in any unwanted interaction or feel indebted to the donor. So Beth, I will tell you that a traditional scholarship reception where you've got people at rounds seated is not what you want to do. Instead, if we're going to treat students and donors as equal and that they have equal rights, which they should, right? We want to make sure that they are experiencing something as peers. So how do we do that? Well, it's pretty cool way to do this is to have them experience something together. So instead of you're here to meet the donor, it is let's go through a museum tour together. Let's volunteer together. Okay, Beth, what I would want to unpack with the people that aren't listening is, can you help me understand what our goal is for this experience? If it's anything other than for students and donors to both have a good experience, then it's not correct. If it's so that students can give gratitude to donors, that's not it, right? And so I think we have to be careful there. It's not about being right or wrong. Remember, our students are going to be the donors of the future, right? And we want to treat them well. And there shouldn't be a I owe you gratitude because you're one of the people that contribute to my education. I also contributed to my education, things like that. So I want to figure out what the crux of the challenge is. Now, if I can't do a shared experience, like a shared volunteer experience, a shared hands-on experience where we're helping someone else, could I do something way more casual than what it usually is, which is a stuffy ballroom in the middle of campus in the student center with, you know, linens over tables and other not so great stuff. So, what I would be looking into is something casual like an ice cream social, having them have a food truck come and they could both grab a coffee from the food truck or a boba tea, or again, something stand up. No, I mean, you need to have seating to be inclusive, um but I would not have uh you know, like super formal, no seated meals, no plated meals. Do you know what I mean? Like, we wanted this to be enjoyable, right? Okay, Megan's chiming in. Yeah, or ice cream socials are, because everybody loves ice cream, right? Like, I really feel that you know, like it's just a really good idea. So just trying to think about that for you. Again, something casual, you know, maybe it's they build a taco and have a taco bar. Oh, maybe no, that's hard to eat in front of people. So maybe not that yet. But you know, we want to think about something very casual. We want to think something hands-on. You know, Beth, I like to think about when sororities do informal recruitment in the spring a lot. they do like arts and crafts together. So maybe they could build something school spirited together, like one of those architecture drawings, or maybe it's a personal card or something they could do together where they're creating content or creating something together. Not necessarily, right? Love that, Megan. A drop in the ice cream social. Love that. I think that's a really great idea. Karina, a lunch is great, but a full meal is asking a lot from both the donors and the students. If I'm going to go lunch, I'm going to do food truck or experience. And I I like an afternoon, not a meal. Like, students do love a free meal, but I mean, if I was going to do a lunch, I would maybe do a build your own pizza where they could have it cooked in front of them, like Blaze Pizza does. Or again, we want to give people the opportunity to shine. Not all students are extroverts. Not all donors are extroverts. Not all students' gift is the gift of gab. Not all donors' gift is the gift of gab. So I want you to be really thoughtful about what a casual lunch is and what that means to people. The other could be dropping by an event that's already created, like they could go see a play together and go to a reception, or think light, think drop in, drop out, and think building or doing something together. I hope that's very helpful, Beth. But I would be steering your folks away from traditional receptions as much as humanly possible. And donors don't want to go to a traditional reception. If you're having a traditional lunch or reception, you're going to have the same 30 traditional donors over and over and over again. You're going to grab the same donors that you're going to get all the time. So great question. Any others? Happy to have them. Yes. Yeah, I'm here to help you. Just really want you to think, and how can we push them to think differently? Yeah, I love a build your own. Yeah, Kathleen, you could do hospitality at an athletics event. I love that idea, so that they're going to the hospitality together. Maybe they meet at halftime, right? Or a quarter break or something like that. And they have build your own ice cream sundae or something like that, or build your own, I don't know, but you want it to be casual and there be like a place to leave, a way to leave, so that they don't feel, both for the donor and the students. Trying to think if there was anything else I saw that was like really spectacular. Yeah. Any questions? Let me know. Happy to help. Happy to noodle on ideation. I know we're all trying to kind of work through change management, and maybe Beth, in the first year, it's one change at a time, right? So it's, instead of seated and traditional name tags and name cards, it's getting them up. So Mary says, I'm sorry, I've been on a call. Oh, that's okay. I'm weighing whether to build out our giving societies. Currently, we only recognize donors $1,000 and up. I'm in K through 12, and all our peers break out donors. I know that DRG says no to the honor roll. Convince me. I don't have to convince you, Mary. The data is there. So giving societies are actually more than passe now, and that goes along with the honor roll. So recognizing donors based on amount is no longer best practice. Instead, recognizing donors. So you're at K-12, so I would be thinking that we really need to think about first-time donors. loyal donors who give monthly, not dollar amount. So dollar amount is super traditional. It's super passe. It says that until you give $1,000, we're gonna, do you know what I mean? We're not gonna talk to you. So I really want you to think instead about which donors are most valuable, not dollar amount, but behavior wise. So building out giving societies is a ton of work. And Mary, if I were guessing you're at a K through 12 school, you don't have a staff of 5 people in donor relations, just a guess. Because I know the independent school market pretty well now. I've been working in it for a while. You don't have the staff, the time, nor the reasoning. Okay, so you're a Catholic high school. Great. So giving societies aren't it. Giving societies aren't it. Better to do stewardship, better to build out behavior-based recognition like we teach. It will have far more impact on your retention than at $1,000 we do this, at $5,000 we do this. There is no, absolutely none empirical evidence that says that giving societies work. In fact, there is proof to the contrary. So GG&A did a study on giving societies, and that's GG&A is a big consulting firm in Grinsbach. I'm trying to find it for you. They did a big study and found that most donors find them to be super ineffective, and that they don't matter. Secondly, there is a Vanderbilt University study on public recognition for donors that says it actually does the opposite of what, I mean, like there's actual evidence, but there's no evidence. I'm posting the Vanderbilt study here that says that public recognition decreases charitable giving. GG&A did a study on, I'm trying to find, and said they're not, you know what I mean? They're not effective. And so I could not, other than the honor roll, I could not find something less worth your time and effort than a giving society. We are eliminating them across the board at organizations, and there's not been a single piece of blowback. Donors, and again, so whenever you think about eliminating something, you follow the Disney rule, which is unless 10% of your audience complains, then I don't want you to make the change that you have been thinking. You know, you don't reverse course. So I want you to stick to that decision, but it's the last thing I would do is build out giving societies. So just giving you my perspective, lots of professionals' perspective, actual research. So great. Let's see, Marissa, when it's more casual, what's a good way to connect the donors to the students at the event, meaning to introduce to each other? So Marissa, I am really big on that donors don't own students. That's why we don't say my student or my donor, right? Instead, we like to have them meet a variety of students. So what we do is on the back of the name tag they receive, they get 2 or 3 names of students that they're to try to, and we gamify it and turn it into a goal that they're to try to find that person. And then same thing with the students' name tags. We put donor names on the back of their name tags, and we have them look for them throughout the room. The other thing we do is it's the fundraiser or the host's job to help make those matches. So they get a list in advance, and they're to be like, John, have you met Mary? Mary, have you met Susan? And so it's mix and mingle, because what we don't want is the idea that this is your student. Instead, there's lots of amazing connections that can be made there. And so we want people to have the opportunity to have many different interactions. So I would always challenge my students and my donors. And so when the students check in, because the students check in a different spot than the donors do, I can prep them, I can get them ready, and I say, okay, your job today is to find Frank, Rosemary, and John. And they're like, got it. I'm like, you find all three, you come back and tell me at the event, and I got you. And what I got for them is special cool cookies or a treat that have the university's logo on it or something like that that they can have afterwards. Look, I was going to give it to them anyway, but I literally turn it into a challenge. I do the same thing. Okay, donor Steve, you're going to be looking for Isis, you're going to be looking for Francis, and you're going to be looking for Sun Yi, and you're going to go find them. And that way they have a reason to move around the room. They have reasons to interact with more than one person. Again, giving them a reason to have interaction and involvement with each other. So try again. We don't want people sitting at tables staring and having someone at a podium gripping and grinning. We don't want that. That is the worst thing that can happen. So I understand and agree with the no owner type style. Would any of the recipients of the scholarship with that small group of people, would any of the recipients of those scholarships with that small group of people they are encouraged to meet? I think I'm missing a vowel or a word or a verb there, but are the students that are the beneficiaries of their support included in there? They can be, but not all students RSVP and say yes either. So I want to make sure that the donor has people to meet. So the people I always invite to the event are student ambassadors that give tours to admissions. And I also invite, if you have student phone-a-thon callers, I always invite them to any event I'm doing because they're really great at hosting people. So I have students in the room that are ready to go. If you have interns in your donor relations department, but yes, there's not always a one-to-one because their student may not show up and their donor may not show up. So we want to make sure it's a really good experience for everyone. So I hope that helps you answer your question. Yeah, I hire ambassadors, and I also hire the student callers. Anybody who has like a public facing job on campus, those are folks that I want interacting with donors, because at every university, there are very few students that are full pay students, and most of them aren't involved in giving campus tours and working on campus and things, believe me. So I want to bring positivity to the room. Speaking of positivity, let's see if I can give you a glimpse at today's weather. For those of you that are still in the cold, we've got 2 large ships and one on the other side of the island today, but it's nice and calm out. It's lovely, and we're just chilling. But yes, now you got your daily dose of, now I got to get the camera on back right. Got your daily dose of the ocean for you. Karina says, what best practices have you seen to strengthen the giving culture among faculty and staff and build community? We have had a giving society, but it's being evaluated. No, you don't need that. This is a great opportunity to reassess what are other institutions. So Karina, faculty and staff giving starts at the bottom and the top. And so I want you to think about that at your organization. I want you to think about, how do you build the culture of giving? So a lot of places do fun challenges. They involve leadership. They do, like, if your department gets 100% participation, they get invited to a pizza party, all kinds of things like that. And so first, it's culture. Second, what is the money going to? So making sure that that money is going to like a staff helping staff fund or something where I can see the impact. But also, Karina, what are you doing in terms of donor relations for faculty and staff donors? So I want you to think about, what does that mean for your faculty and staff donors? How are they being thanked? How are they I find that when donors, especially donors who set payroll deduction, they're being ignored oftentimes. So I think that's the start, but Giving Society isn't it. So that's my biggest, best advice I have for you, Karina. And with that, Another bi-weekly chat is coming to conclusion. Remember, April 15th is going to be a very special day. We hope you can join us. Have a big announcement that afternoon. If you have any questions or you need anything from us, email info@donorrelations.com. Our team concierge is always there to help, and we hope to see you in Chicago, or I will see you in 2 weeks. So have a great day, everybody.